What's up, everybody? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the debut album from the band Clitgore, entitled The Final Cuntdown. This is released on Gore House Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Romania, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very perverse, gory hybrid of both grindcore and brutal death metal. Think, if you will, to a mixture of bands such as Rompeprop, Haemorrhage, and Lividity. You get the speed of a gore grind release with some of the ideas and elements that you would best know in brutal death metal or even gore grind. This is a band that has a somewhat DIY sort of work ethic. They've been at it, I want to say, since 2009. Pretty much keeping up with a lot of demos, compilation appearances, splits. This band has done a lot of stuff prior to this, and now that this debut album is finally out, I'm optimistic that more people will have an opportunity to know who this band is and get acquainted with them. This is the debut full-length from Clitgore, The Final Cuntdown. It's 15 tracks, and it clocks in at around 26 minutes in length. And pretty much, this album flies by at a very quick pace. No song is longer than around 2 to 2.5 minutes in length. The shortest song's really going around a minute in length. But this is a pretty breezy sort of record. It goes by very quickly. Like I said earlier, if you happen to be into stuff like, let's say, Lividity or Haemorrhage or Rompeprop, to even stuff like Gut or Cock and Ball Torture, you may find some enjoyment from Clitgore. I think this is a really, really entertaining listen, and there's a lot of good ideas being brought forth to the table here. Pretty sure these are ideas that have been tossed around and used before, but still Clitgore find a way to make it very entertaining and worthwhile. The riffs on here have a very sing-songy sort of quality going on, and it's like that throughout the 15 tracks that appear on this record. The riffs are very groove-laden, and that's something I would normally expect when I listen to a gore grind style release, is the emphasis of groove used within the guitar riffs, and there are plenty of them to be had here. The groovy riffs just sound really, really awesome. I mean, the first couple of tracks that come to mind for me would be Come As You Are, The Lust Supper, and The Butcher Store. Just some really, really good riff work going on here. Very simplistic and very to the point. The riff work is very, very smooth, very groovy, very crunchy. Once again, mentioning the fact that the riffs have a very head-nodding sort of style going on here. That's something also I expect in a gore grind release, is when you hear a song that just makes you want to move your head, so on and so forth like that. That's the kind of idea you get with the guitar riff work going on here, and I think it's a success. Bass-wise, I think the bass tone is very good, up to par with any sort of gore grind or grindcore style release. Really good bass tone, very audible and clear, not too overbearing or powerful, but I still think this bass guitar gets the job done. Moving on to the drums are very interesting. One thing that caught my attention as soon as I listened to this album is the high emphasis of volume on the crash and ride cymbals. Normally, I would say a drum performance has good volumes on any sort of aspect of the drum kit, but the crash and ride cymbals are incredibly loud in this mix. I want to say it's a little louder than what you would hear when it comes to like a kick drum or a snare drum or a tom drum or any sort of thing like that. You get more loudness from the cymbals than you would the actual drums themselves. I don't know if that was the intent of the actual release, but for what it's worth, I still think the drumming is incredibly vibrant and entertaining, especially towards the later half of this album when you get to the title track and Tales from the Clit and so on. You get some cowbell accents going on here. I think it's really, really fun and entertaining and gives more of the sing-song quality going on throughout this entire record. I think the drum performance is solid. aside from the loudness of certain things, I think the drums are very entertaining. Good, quick little fills, nice blast beats. I would have loved the drums to have been a little louder and have equal volume length alongside the cymbals. But that's just a small grievance I have. But other than that, I think the drum work is pretty solid. And moving on to the vocals are done at a very... I don't want to say this in a disrespectful demeanor, but the vocals are a little bit on the monotone side. Very low and monotone sort of vocal stylings. Very guttural, very undecipherable, done very, very well, but it's really done at one single sort of vocal tone. I guess I would have liked more vocal variations, but I still think this vocalist delivers a very, very good job with what he sets out to do, and especially all the fun that he's having, saying the words and the lyrics and all that stuff. I would have liked to have known what he was actually saying on some of these tracks. I mean, you got songs like Gore Gangbang, Your Smile Looks Better on My Cock, Juicy Pussy, and even the Lividity cover that's at the end. They do a very faithful Lividity cover of Pussy Lover, and I think that's really, really entertaining. I know this guy is having a great, great time delivering the vocals. I also think he's the guitarist of this band as well, so he delivers some really good riffs alongside some pretty good vocals. Although the vocals are done at a single sort of tone. But regardless, I think it's entertaining, and it definitely adds to this album's sort of style. So overall, I would say this is a really, really nice piece of gore grind and grindcore or brutal death metal for those of you who happen to be into that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure this album won't be to everybody's tastes, but if you're into brutal death metal or gore grind or grindcore, you'll definitely will find something to enjoy with Clitgore. I think this is an impressive debut, and I can only imagine that there will be better things ahead for this band in the near future. Yeah. If I had to pick any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Come As You Are, The Lust Supper, Everybody Loves Clit, The Butcher's Store, Your Smile Looks Better on My Cock, the title track, and Tales from the Clit. I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Gore House Productions Bandcamp page, where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can purchase it digitally. I believe you can currently stream it as well. It is also available in a jewel case CD format, and there is also a very limited DVD case version that comes with a poster, a woven patch of the artwork, and a condom of all things. So pretty nice little tie-in to what this band sets out to do. So again, the album is The Final Cuntdown by Clitgore. This is released on Gore House Productions. Check this out if you're into brutal death metal or grindcore. And as far as the score goes, I'm going to give this a very strong 7 out of 10. Very, very impressive debut release. I only look forward to better things to come from this band in the future. So support Clitgore. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Army Ho out.